Hello everybody, I hope you're having a wonderful day, and today I never honestly thought that I'd be making a video like this, but I'm going to be doing a Battle of the Blades style kind of video. And of course, you guys can probably know where I'm going with this thing. One is not gonna stay in the collection. Now you're probably thinking to yourself, dude, are you stupid or something? Like these are completely different knives. Yes, you're right, and yes, I am stupid. That's okay. So this I paid, I don't know, like $4.25 for it. Yeah, I spent a good bit of money in that, plus some extra titanium studs there. And then this is just under $100 from Civivi. They're both overseas manufacturing, completely different materials, night and day. But one of the things that's very similar about these two is the way that you interact with the knife overall. So let's get this out of the way. With the Demco AD 20.5 with the patented shark lock, of course you pay for that, right? Same thing with the super lock, the Snex design. This is probably the most utilitarian oriented knife in my collection. This is basically a buff ass box cutter, and it is absolutely incredible and just wonderful to use. But one of the things that I've always had, it's like one of the very few downsides to this, besides the clip, but hey, I got no excuse. They do make aftermarket clips that are significantly better than that. I mean, like, look at that. What the hell is that? How am I gonna get that back into my pocket? Out of the pocket just fine, but how am I gonna get that back into my pocket? That shit should have never been designed, prototyped, and you would have been able to notice it right away. But hey, it made it to production and all the way up the ladder. There were multiple variations of it, and I've owned multiple variations of the Demco AD 20.5. You guys have seen it. If you are new to the channel, I've had the AUS 10A, which is, you know, honestly quite overpriced for what it is. In this current market, yeah, that is an extremely overpriced item right there. I also had the G10 and S35 yen variant. That was an impulse buy, but honestly, that was the sweet spot right there. I should have stayed with that one, and I should have never got this one. This was the most expensive one at the time when it came out. Eventually, there was some like super crazy Damascus for like $600 or $700. It was insane. It was gorgeous. I couldn't afford it then. I most definitely can't afford it now, that's for sure. But it was beautiful nonetheless. Anyway, so this is the textured diamond tie with the 3V. This blade material, good stuff, good to go, very easy to sharpen. Takes a beautiful toothy edge as well as a high polished edge, but it doesn't really hold it as well as a toothy edge. So I've always maintained this knife, this edge, with about a 600 grit and then stropped as much as I can. That's why it looks, you know, very shiny and almost kind of, you know, reflective. But trust me, this is actually a toothy edge. When you cut with it, you can't really notice it, and I think that's just something that the blade material, that's just something you get with 3V. And this is my experience. I am not a metallurgist. I am not a professional by any means, but this is my experience with 3V on this example, and it has been wonderful. It has been an absolute dream to use this. Blade stock thickness is pretty darn beefy. It comes to, honestly, pretty thick behind the edge, but it cuts like a dream, and it's always been wonderful. It's always been one of the most charming aspects of the Demco AD 20.5. As you can see, like, I interact with it a little bit different than some people. I use my thumb because it's just a little bit more comfortable for me. With the index finger, yeah, it's cool, but because it's so tight to the back, even though there is this little space right there, it's always just been the very tip of my index finger, and I love to fidget with my knives. If you guys haven't noticed already by now, and I'm sure a lot of you do too, Like to just fidget, whether it's couch flipping or car flipping or toilet flipping, it doesn't matter. We all flip like crazy, and it's just something you do as a enthusiast, right? So eventually that gets kind of sore and pretty uncomfortable after a while. So there was things like that. This, I wish it stuck out a little bit further, or maybe it was just a little bit more access possibly. The clip that comes stuck on it, it's absolute hot steaming garbage. It works, you can bend it out, but then it becomes a tapper. I've bent it back so that it sits flat on it because I hated it tapping. But what's kept me from carrying this most recently is that there are so many better things out there than this to carry at this moment in time. And while the way that the knife is shaped and sculpted, while this is flat in this dimension, the way that everything else is here, to be back here, good to go. To be up here, probably the very best possible place you can be in, and you can put so much strength and so much power behind that edge. It is incredible. This is awesome for sure. But yeah, like I said, I interact with this a little bit different than some people do. I even stretched the spring in here to give it a little bit more tension. Side to side, nothing there. Up and down, you hear the faintest little click, but I've been told by multiple people that is normal to hear the tiniest little click. That is supposed to be actual like space for the lock to actually function, because if there's too much tension squishing it, it can't slide up and down freely like it's supposed to. So even here you can hear it, or maybe see it possibly, but that's normal. On the two other variations that I've had, it's the exact same thing. Out of the box, brand new, or after months of use, not abuse, but use. And it's the exact same thing. So whether I, flick it really hard, or, do anything crazy with it, reverse flick it, or, gravity, just like take this and just smack it out. I've never had lock stick. I've never had lockup issues. It is truly an incredible knife. But let's face it, it's fucking ugly. It's really freaking ugly. But it is a tool masterpiece. It is a cutting masterpiece. It really is. But when this came about, right? You guys almost forgot about this being in this video. Like 8 minutes in and barely showing the other knife in comparison. This, and this is going to be my opinion, this is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. And it's not just because of this nonsense up here. It's not just because of this. It's the overall silhouette. The way that it fits in hand, whether you're back here or choked up, oh my gosh, it is incredible. It is so comfortable. And because this is not significantly thicker, but it is thicker than the Demco AD 20.5. Again, not by a whole lot, but it is. This is so much more comfortable. I thought I knew comfort and being in a locked in position with the Demco AD 20.5. This is on a whole nother level. To me, this is so much more comfortable. So while it looks good, right? It performs well at cutting. The way that I interact with it with the studs, super snappy. The spring tension and how everything is just machined and finished, it makes this feel like a much more snappier, more ready to go item. It doesn't feel floppy, it doesn't feel loose. Now, you know what? Maybe there are some people that have gotten the Vision FG and they're just like, it's not for me. It's just too different from a detent having knife. It's not for me. This is so much closer to a detent having knife when it comes to actually interacting with it. I mean, just hear that snap. That is pretty freaking sweet. And even if I do it lazy, like, it's kind of difficult to see that over a screen, but You know, not even like putting like a whole lot of force behind it. Everything is just so well machined and just so smooth. And this is $100, right? With that, you're getting 3V, micro mill, diamond tie, all that fancy stuff. This, you're getting, I don't even freaking know what it is at this point. It's okay, it's cool, it holds an edge until you actually use it. But for less than this, for around 80 bucks or so, there's Nitro V as an option, and I would take that all day. I wish the Nitro V looked like this, because this is beautiful looking with this sand white Damascus here. But I like the way that this one looks so much that I decided, you know, I'm gonna get it, whether, you know, the edge retention is equivalent to a tin can. So because I'm used to knives with edge retention like this, I'm used to super steel. So when I talk shit about knives that have blade material like this, you know, understand where I'm coming from. I'm used to cool stuff like this, right? S35VN, weld, heat treated, M390, S90V, S45VN, CBM 20CV, if I didn't already say that, Magna Cut, a lot of Magna Cut. So I'm used to things like that. What else do I have in my collection? 14C28N, D2. What else? I have some Nitro V. Do I have anything else? I have some crew wear. And that's it. I don't have any Vanex, or I don't know. I'm kind of limited on what I actually do have, in the sense of different blade materials. So I'm used to that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that sticks around in my collection. But this is merely just aesthetic. But I've fallen in love with this knife so much so that what I've decided is that I'm actually going to, I've already made up my mind, and I just want to share this video. I don't know why, but I want to share the video just talking about the differences between the two. The locks, designed completely different, but I forget what the term is. It's called like convergent or divergent evolution or something like that. They're basically the same freaking thing, right? It's a coil spring. You go up and down with a little tab on the spine, has jimps, and it gets the blade out. But one is a whole lot better than the other. And you guys already know the Vision FG is a whole lot better than the Demco AD 20.5. And while I make it look like they're both equivalently snappy, I have to put significantly more effort into the Demco. And at this point in time, it may just sound like I'm lazy about it, but it's more about fidget factor and reliability, also comfort, and the very last thing is going to be visual aesthetics. So talking from a user standpoint, I would much rather have the Vision FG in my collection than the Demco AD 20.5. So I'm actually going to be selling this. I'm posting it on NAF sale. I don't know what I'm going to ask for it yet. It's been well taken care of. Anodizing, it's not fresh, but there are no scratches or marks on it. Of course, I will make sure to clean everything. It has been sharpened, reprofiled once, sharpened twice, I believe, and it just has a wonderful edge, honestly. This 3V takes amazing edges for sure. And then I have an unopened pack of 3 springs for anybody that's interested along with it. These are Flightanium studs that I anodized myself, and that's really it. So I don't know what I'm going to ask for this thing. It's going to be significantly discounted from what it would cost brand new. I know brand new ones that don't have any customization and have the stock steel studs on there, they're still like $375. Yeah, they're still pretty freaking expensive, honestly. So this isn't really a video to say like, oh, I recommend one versus the other. No, this is me sharing with whoever in the community that's actually interested in watching this video that I'm choosing the Vision FG for its functionality and the fact that it has a better pocket clip, even though it'll probably snag on things and rip off eventually. But I'd rather have this pocket clip and that positioning than that pocket clip and that positioning. I'm more likely to use this than this. Now that this exists and it's in my collection and I've had it and I've experienced it and I know what it's about, it kind of makes this obsolete. And while there's still so much to love and appreciate about this version of the Demco AD 20.5, because this is still the most elite version of the AD 20.5. Of course, we're not talking about the USA production ones, we're just talking about the overseas production. This is still probably about one of the nicest ones you can get with the diamond tie and 3V. There's no corrosion, maybe the slightest bit of patina, but not much. No spots, no dark marks or anything funky like that. And still plenty of life. The way that they've done the I guess edge termination and everything down there, I didn't do that myself. That's how it comes, and it is excellent, absolutely wonderful. So if you guys are interested, you guys will probably see this on NAFSA. I will be linking them down in the description. And that means that it's no longer going to be a size comparison knife. So now I gotta figure out what the hell I gotta get, or what the hell I gotta put into its size comparison spot. Because honestly, I have like 2 other knives in my lineup of 6 size comparison knives that are quite similar to that. So I gotta get something that's a little bit different shaped. So I'm not too sure what yet. I'm more than willing to hear out different suggestions and things like that. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. I know it's very different from a lot of the other content that I typically share with you guys in the community. But if you guys did like it, go ahead and leave a like down below. If you guys are subscribed, I most definitely appreciate all your guys' support and patience, of course. If you are not subscribed, consider subscribing, because I have plenty more videos coming your guys' way. And with that being said, have a wonderful rest of your day.